Hello folks, Nile Creek Fly Shop here. Getting a little tired of tying minnow patterns, so now I'm going to tie a very cool intruder pattern using a dubbing loop for the bump. I'm going to actually, at the end of the tie, I'm going to slide on a humor body behind my bump for weight, and I'll finish it off with a small tungsten cone. First of all, I'm going to do and have prepared a dubbing loop. Now this tube is the Canadian Tube Fly Scandi tube, and I really like these. These are nice. They fit most cones on the market, so that is really special. One of the downsides of tube flies is that everybody's got their own diameters of tubes and cones and all this stuff, and they get very expensive. So I use the Scandi tube from Canadian Tube Fly, and that really does the job really nicely for me. Now I'll just put this material in, and the reason I'm using angel hair is simply because you don't need wax. Is simply because it's stiff, very stiff fibers, almost like polar bear. There we are. I'm going to move my thread a bit up front just for the time being, and I'll just wrap this in. Let's see, hackle plier. I like a hackle plier. Get rid of that. I'll put that over here, and I'll start just palming a little bit. Just make a nice bump. I don't want it too big. This is going to be a big one, but it's okay. This angel hair is really stiff. There we are. I'll just lock that off, and then I'm going to brush it out. This is a very easy fly to tie, but I tell you, it's very effective. So you steelhead guys out there, or salmon guys who are fishing salmon in the fresh water, this thing is crazy. They love it. It moves so very much. Now I'll just lock that in nicely, and I'm using 140 UTC thread. Now I'm going to brush it one way. That's actually a very heavy bump. I don't normally like them that heavy, but it is what it is for this tying video, so we'll just have to make do. There we are. There are other things that you can do as well to make these bumps. You can actually stick on a big cone, one of the sonic discs, and that will actually flare out really nicely as well. There's that. So you don't need to put any flashaboo or crystal flash on this fly, because this has a ton of flash. Now, marabou. Lots of people will dye their marabou or tie their marabou in from the tip, and you can. I prefer to tie it in from the stem, and so what I do is I find the first place that really is soft, and I'll just strip that. And I want the longest fibers, so what I'll do is I'll just tie that in from here. You could actually strip one side of this feather if you wanted to. It's not going to be a big fly. It's not going to be a two bump. It's just a single bump. There. Always pull your material and fibers back, like so. There we are. You want to make sure this goes around the entire body. You don't want any bald spots. There we are. That's a lot of marabou. Many people tie their tube flies and intruders much too heavy. The idea of the intruder is intruding the space of the fish. It doesn't have to be bulky. If it's too bulky, it's going to float on top of the water and you're not down to the fish. Move this around. There we are. Now I'm just going to take my Argus pheasant Beautiful stuff. And I'm going to take off a few fibers and just go around this fly. And that spotted feather seems to really be a good attractant. It really finishes the fly off nicely. I'm going to be using two, there we are, one wrap. Rotate a little bit, another wrap. Most people will use, and don't have access to the Argus like we do, and most people will be using Amherst. And that Amherst is wonderful. But I had these unmatched feathers, and I thought, nope, let's use these and see how it's like. And I really like them. They're fine. Not an issue. They're absolutely wonderful. All this spotted feather seems to really add to this. There we are. I'm just going to unwrap a little bit, take them all out, and then I'll rewrap. I don't use a lot, so it's really not that critical. There we are. Now I'm going to get my whip finisher. Whip finish here just for protection. That's all. There we are. And I'll take those extra ends of the feathers off. I don't want to cut my threads. I got to be real careful. Real careful. That's why I did a whip finish then, just in case I screw up. Doesn't matter who you are, it does occur occasionally. There. Now, it's quite cool, quite sexy actually. Now, yes, my next step is jungle cock. I'm going to put jungle cock on each side. I like to leave all the feathers on, that way I can sort of really manipulate the eye real nicely. I'm going to try the other eye. And we'll do that. There we are. Three's fine. And I'll rotate my vise. Go to the other side. Jungle cock is getting awfully hard to get. India is also suffering from the COVID pandemic, and that's where most of the jungle cock comes from. So it's getting hard to get. Then I'm going to put a little bit of Palmer chenille on. Just a bit. This is going to cover all this stuff here. I don't want too much. Whoop, that's too much. Wrong place. There we are. Oh, God. There we are. Nice thing about the Palmer chenille is you can just palmer a little bit, and you can bring the fibers back, and when you put your cone on, it tucks right up. And I'm not covering the jungle cock eyes. See that? You don't need a lot. You don't need much. 3 wraps. It's good. And well locked in. Little super glue. I always bring my thread up. Whoop. There we are. So, watch my fingers here. I just screwed up a bit. There we are. I should have whip finished that so I wouldn't have done that. that. Now the cone that I've chosen is one of our cones, and it's got a big cup on it. There we are. And it is also tungsten. There we are. Okay, cut that baby. Lighter. Take that off. Slide on my weighted body. Melt. There you go. A really nice pink intruder. In the water, that thing is just going to be crazy. Good luck, everybody, and stay safe.